somebody with no shoes on
in the grass
in the Navy.
I can see it.
My mom had a track scholarship. Like she went to
No.
Yeah, she went to school on the track.
You raised somebody with no shoes on.
But it was in grass though.
You just recently sat the selection board. What's new that people need to know, or should they be paying attention to, because anything changed that you can speak about?
The biggest thing that people don't do is they don't read the precepts in the convening order, and they do not follow their ECP. So for us, I want to clarify, because a lot of people thought, like, when they say they evaded missiles, they thought the news was just saying that's some real shit. Like, missile inbound, inbound was a real thing. You had like less than 7 minutes to respond. So at that time, you don't have time to tie down no jets. You don't have time for people to get off tractors. You don't got time for people to get off cockpits. So it is what it is, because the carrier has to shake.
Welcome to another episode of the Addy's Podcast, where we salute those that serve and those that are continue serving. My guest today comes from South Carolina. I guess like woo. Yeah. My dog AP just retired just recently. What's going on, bro? Like, what's new, man? You retired life.
Nothing is new, man.
You still getting up at 05?
I give an extra 30 minutes. I give it 30. I give it 5:30.
5:30.
Yeah, I go to the gym early, so I can knock it out.
One day you'll come to that you don't get out of bed till after colors. It's going to happen. Okay. But you got to get there. That's the real retirees after colors. But yeah, man, how does it feel though?
Right now, it just feel the same, really.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, ain't nothing changed too much. I said still getting up, early. I just feel like I'm gonna leave.
Feel like you gonna leave?
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
That's fair.
Well, it ain't been enough. It ain't been long enough.
It ain't been long enough. I got you. That's fair. I can respect that. But my guest, 49, South Carolina, came in the Navy, VFA 122, VFA 83, NMC Oceana, BP 45. That's where her and I met. Didn't know it was going to end up like this, but it's cool. I always talk about it. Ooh, Lord. But I always tell people the greatest thing for me was like, it was 2 AOs in maintenance control. It's like, it's a big deal. Because that don't happen like that normally. So it was huge for me, like, oh wow, I got one. And she about her business. Something I probably never told you, like, you inspired me to go get a master's degree. You're like, oh, I'm working on my master's degree, said you. I said, oh no, she can't. She can't get me. She can't get one up on me. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Like, it ain't gonna happen. Like, I'm teaching her. She can't be put in on game. But
see that goes to show you too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can lead from multiple positions.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you lead in those above you, you lead by influence. So she influenced you.
She did. Like, she did, but she came to me like just bragging about it. I said, well, all right. I got you. And then as soon as I transferred, got to the Ford, I started working on my master's degree. So
that's crazy, because I wasn't going to work on it, but PR2 Barconi at the time was like, AO1, why you not working on your degree? Oh. And I was like, I don't got time to go to school. And
PR2.
Then, the PR2 was like, why not? I'm like, shit, let me go and roll with these classes, because I didn't have a why not.
Why? Yeah.
See? Yeah. You had the layers of that.
Yeah.
So
I remember working on it.
It's PR2.
Yeah.
I don't know who you is, PR2.
But he out there.
Yeah, you just see what you did?
Right, because it put a spark in me. I was like, okay, I got the bachelor, that's cool. But when you started saying bachelor, I'm like, oh, I got to step it up. Yeah, I got to step it up. But yeah, that was the motivation from you. I appreciate that. Left BP 45, went to Wing 11, did your thing there, left there, went to the WASP. From the WASP to the baton, that's when you met AP.
Right.
How was it, the relationship when you met him?
So, AP, boot shine, uniform press.
Right.
And he was a master chief. No shade to nobody on the baton or whatever, but coming from the Walls and going to the Baton, when I checked in on the Baton, I was like, what the fuck did I let Ty talk me into?
Yeah.
You know, we used to call you every morning.
I know.
I used to call him twice every morning.
But I know who you was with, though. That's the one thing. I know who you was with.
And so, the CMC was about to retire. I don't even remember what Master Chief was there before AP, but like AP was like Master Chief.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this my speed. This my speed because I like structure.
Yeah.
I like shit that makes sense. So that for me was like, okay, you got to stay on your game type thing. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, well, if they getting paid as much as me, I need to be working as less as them type thing. So, but for him, I don't remember who the other Master was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some coming to mind, but
yeah. But I knew who you were working with. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. Left there, went to the JFK. Did your tour over there. You just recently went to the TRUMAN, did a deployment. I probably think the first 2 female AO Master Chiefs that did a deployment together.
That's dope.
Yeah. That's huge. Cause you couldn't even envision that. Cause you came in VFA 122, you want to carry it automatically as an airman. You didn't see that.
And then imagine somebody told you your master's name was going to be LaCresha and Tyese.
Oh, LaCresha and Tyese.
Well, imagine that.
Bro.
Yeah.
But that just lets you know things are elevated. They don't. It's good. But LaCresha and Tyese. Stop. And that's some ghetto stuff.
So I got a question in regards to that, right? So again, like you said, you've been to AO your whole career. You've been on ships. Never seen that before. So, that's some historic stuff. But in the live term, as you was doing it, did it dawn on you? Did it hit on you? Like, we doing something that.
And I think it started to really hit on us. So obviously our sailors, but then we see them every day. But like on the squadron, female AO1s, because I've never seen that many AO1s on a ship. Like the whole flight, like the whole squadron had multiple AO1s. Yeah. And so for them to say, we haven't seen this, we're like, really? We see AO matching, we see Adanya, we see Missy Anderson. Yeah. Like we've seen them, but like not together. It took me a while to see Adanya. I never really met Jen. I just knew of Jen. Yeah. But for them to be like, we never seen it, to us, we were like, really? But to them, it was like, nah, like this is our first time seeing it type of thing. So that is like, okay, well, we gotta make sure we're showing them. And then some of them always came around and wanted to be shown the way. And then some of them kind of was, I think to them it was probably intimidating. Yeah.
But see, I know how you get down. Like, I would ask, did you feel pressure? But you don't deal with pressure.
No. No.
You just let it transform you.
Pretty much.
And like,
I like chaos.
All right, to his point.
It's quiet, I can't function.
To his point, I seen you work. I seen you work. Like, it's not like or I heard about it. I'm like, wow, she came to a new platform, but her mentality was like, I can't fail, and I gotta win. You leave there, go to an amphib, like, hey, this amphib life is good, trust me. It's our speed, we can do that. You go there, kill it. To the point you getting awards, first female, Bob Fellow Award. Like, is that something that you grew up with? Like that mentality, or where does it spark from? Because it's like, some people have it like, they just like, oh, okay, I got it. And we're not perfect. We have failures. We go through things, we deal with things. But you didn't allow that to like stop you from have a mother. Never shied away from, we gotta get underway, or we gotta go on deployment. You're not ducking that. No excuses, no nothing. Where did that come from?
Let's see. So I do have a lot of females in my family. I grew up predominantly with my grandma. My grandma was strong. Granddad was strong too, but my grandma was very strong. She was no nonsense. People say she never smiled, but I'm like, that is her smile. So she's gonna say what she's gonna say regardless. And then when I'm not with my grandma or with my mom, I'm with on my dad's side. I'm with my Aunt Carolyn, another strong female. So I think we grew up more trying to be like strong and independent at the same time. And then I'm also a middle child. So middle child, so you're trying to find your way. You're not the oldest, you're not the baby. You was a baby for a little bit, and then you got a sister that snuck up in there somewhere. So they kind of took that from you. But in the midst of it all, I think when I was a third class, I remember putting on third class, and I remember I went TAD for like a little bit. It was supposed to be a 12-month TAD, and then my chief was like, "No, we need some leadership back," and I came back to the work center and worked. But I think I just wanted to be good. I just wanted to be good, and then being an AO, we had a lot of females in 122. But then I went to BFA 83, which was C duty after that, and was predominantly men because they had just started getting females. This was like in 2003, just started getting men, and so at that point you got to prove your worth, with the guys. So the guys was dirty, I was dirty type thing. And I remember one time I was loading an AMRAM, and when you do CWTPI, you're not supposed to use no tools. But normally when you load it with tools. But you're not supposed to do it because you'll fail. And I remember loading, and I remember when it was perfect. And I remember my gunner saying, rest his soul, Gunner Ellis was like, that's my girl. Like he whispered it, but he was like, that's my girl. And so that was like, okay, like I can do this. Like I can hang with the guys. And it was just always that because I had A.O.M. Layson, he retired now, he retired as a chief. I remember him telling me I wasn't gonna make second. I remember Chris Kenny, he retired as a chief. I remember Chris Kenny was like, I remember Chris Kenny was like, I bet you $100 I'll make chief before you make first. He still owed me $100. He owed me $100. And I remember when I went to VPs, Cologne was like, you're not gonna make chief. The board thought Jose Cologne, commander type. He's like, you're not gonna make chief because the board gonna think you quit on them by going VPs. A year later, I made chief. And then I remember when I did my NJP, like a lot of people in the mess was like, oh, you're stuck. You're gonna retire as a chief. You're not gonna make senior chief. Dusted all of them. Like still made senior chief before them, not to sound cocky, but like the motivation of people telling me I can't do something or whatever. Like it just fueled me. So I'm gonna show you I can do it, and I'm gonna prove you wrong.
And you're gonna keep receipts.
Yes, and pretty much. I was waiting for this moment.
Right. It's not even
and even that's a chief. Like they just didn't even make it.
It's just like you said this to me.
Like it's a lot of grown men that do not look like me told me I wasn't gonna do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Okay. X, Y, and Z. A lot of grown men that do not look like me told me this.
So we kind of in the middle of your journey, but let's bring it back. Let's rewind for a minute, okay, to the start of the journey. South Carolina, right? Why did you join?
It was a joke. So I did Marine Corps. or ROTC in ninth grade. Failed it. Like I was wearing my uniform, all kinds of way, anything like that. So my recruiter was ET1 Bruce Holmes, and he was like coming to the school or whatever, and I was joking. I was like, yeah, I'm coming, da 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 da. I messed around and told my mom, and I thought she was gonna be like, girl, you're not going nowhere. You're going to school, da 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 da. And she was excited because my sister Kristen was already in college, and my mom was, footing the bill with that. Single mom at the time, footing the bill. So I'm like, damn. So she got excited and shit, and I just had to go through it. And then I was gonna do like the four and go to college, and then it was 10 years, and then 10 I went to tap class because Jose Cologne had pissed me off, and like here I am.
He's gonna get out.
Man, that man had me fuming.
Yeah.
Fuming.
I know.
He can do it, right?
He can get to you. But I learned a lot from him.
I did. Like, he's smart. When people say he's dumb, I'm like, you're lying. Like, he's smart as hell. But the only thing is his black and white is great. Okay. Only thing. Yeah. His black and white is great. Yeah. But he's smart as hell. But I definitely learned a lot from him. But it was like, I'm going to get back at you because I'm going to get out. Because he had me do everything. Like, I was everything. But then when rubber hit the road, like, I learned a lot. Yeah. I learned. Yeah. But he definitely told me I wasn't going to meet you.
Yeah, we had them people come across our path, the Dowdells. And we have to understand, like, they motivated at the same time. They can say it, but if I end up with what you're saying, then I guess you were true. But if I outdo what you're talking about, I know I'm good. I know I'm good. And if I surround myself with the right people, it's hard for me to lose.
That's why I tell my new check-ins all the
time. It's hard to lose. As much as, and people don't understand, these two right here, Lord. You don't understand, like, this whole, like, go like a Hall of Fame, ride. it's a beautiful thing. It's a joyous thing. And I enjoy doing it. I love it. But these two are my biggest critics. So when people speak negatively about it, they don't know that I already get it from these two. She don't say as much. She filters through him, and then he shoots at me. It's like the fire hose effect. Like she's punking me because she's like, well, I know I can't get at him because like I that's my mentor, and I can't say what I want to say to him. I at the time I was at a Chiefs Christmas party on the GW, and I get a phone call, and these dudes like, Ty, this one here talking about you, her favorite AO. I said,
I was in Hampton.
No, y'all not calling me. They're saying this. And she like, tell him. You need to tell him. You need to tell him. And I'm like, I cannot believe she is doing this. And these my boys. Like, these my guys. These my four guys.
Yeah,
like,
they said that.
They my guys.
It was like, nah, we his
No, they know I ride to the end with them. They know that. And I had to tell them, yeah, she's my favorite AO. Like, I just got punked in front of my boy. They hold me in high regard. They talk about me.
Yep.
You know, they got nicknames, Peanut Head, and all this kind of stuff. I know it all, but I'm good with it. But she made me tell them that I'm her favorite AO.
I remember that night, too.
Out the blue, I'm getting a phone call. Like, what are we talking about right now? I'm with the GW. We having a good time. But again, these two here, you cannot, if I can get past them, nobody else can fade me. You know, nobody else can fade me because he's not going to hold back. He's going to tell me 100% everything. And she like, just like, wow, like, just watching you come up is like, wow, she executed. She did what she had to do. Again, no excuses to the fact of you deploying. You're not running from deployments. It's people out here running from deployments. And you like, yeah, I know I'm a mom.
Yeah,
I got to get this done. I got to get this done. You know, how does that feel when you hear, like, you see it, you know it. Like, how does it make you feel? You like, I'm still going hard. I'm a master chief, but I'm still going hard.
We probably talk about them like every day at work, like a lot of us, because that's why we got this the marketplace thing for advancement. Because people, they dodge whatever the next billet is, they make whatever rank, and they're happy with whatever rank they are at, and then they suppress a billet somewhere. They find shit that's going in the yards, and that type of. I've had people when they know that TRUMAN was going to RCH try to call me to negotiate my billet. So they're like, when you leaving, I want your billet. And you know what I did? I extended so they wouldn't get my billet. So now I'm going to go in the yards because I've been deploying type thing. But that happens. So we got things like marketplace where we have people now, good people who can't promote because somebody was holding a billet and now there's not a billet open for them to go into. So I think if you can't go out to sea in the Navy if it's your rotation, then you should just go home. And the Navy messed up because they came. Like in 2016 or 2017, they said that before. They said, if you're not deployable, you're going to go home. And they never fulfilled that bargain. And then now we got marketplace. So you can't go out to sea, you can't scream, you just go home.
Now, speaking of going out to sea, so your youngest is how old?
2. We told 2 in July.
You just came from deployment, and, you know, you got a lot of single mothers, you know, those your infants, you know, watching TRUMAN and whatnot. So how was it like with him being that young and leaving him behind and having to go on that deployment?
Yeah, I'm gonna tear it out. It was tough. Like, it was tough, but for me, so
how old was he at the time?
When I left, I left in September, so maybe 15 months. And so for me, I had to didn't have a pregnancy tour. I already wrote.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. So, okay, so since you put your spoke on that, because you kind of jumping around a lot, so I was going to speak on that next. You know, like, you didn't really do that.
I've never had a pregnancy tour. Like, I got pregnant at the end of sea duty, and then CMC, CLXO let me transfer normal. So I transferred normal to my shore duty. Then my 9 months, even when I had the twins, I never had a pregnancy tour. I got pregnant on shore duty. I did the 9 months at JFK, but I had him in July. I transferred from JFK like October, November.
And he was out when you transferred?
When I transferred, maybe 4-5 months.
So you supposed to get a whole year there.
I could have done 2, but so JFK was going to do an exceptional policy so I could stay there in a Master Chief billet. But then I had to like think strategically. I had to think long term. So for me, I was like, nope. I lost maternity days. Not telling y'all to lose your maternity days because we all different. But for me, I lost maternity days. It's just I'm just different and not saying that to disrespect anybody.
Yes,
I just had to get up and go.
Yes.
That was just me. So for me, I transferred. I was like, nope, I got to get from this PCU. I got to get back to the fleet. So for me, I ended up going back to sea duty. I got there in November. He was born in July. So like 4 or 5 months is what he was. So, it was in and out because we did a compressed workup cycle. And then we left in September for deployment. So with that, obviously you got to have a strong support system. So my brother held it down. Ayana, she's the CMC right now in Gonzalez. She held it down. Her mom held it down. Alex and her husband, they both active duty. They held it down. So you got to have a strong village. Because they was doing it. And like, I had that mom guilt though. I was like, oh my God, everybody doing stuff. But for me, I was like, if I knock out sea duty right now, instead of doing it on the back end, I knock out sea duty right now, I can be somewhat sure duty when the twins graduate high school. And then by the time you start kindergarten, I could be on shore duty ready to retire. So I know a lot of people think about, I'm going to get my 2 years. I want to be with my kid, but they don't think long-term strategically. So for me, because I had my homegirl, it was me, we had these old mama groups because we was all old as hell having kids. And we have a text. And he was like, I don't see how you at work right now. And I was telling them my reasoning. And some of them got it and some of them didn't get it. So one of them, she delayed her stuff. So she had to commission a little later.
Yeah.
And it was what was for her. But for me, it was go ahead and get out there and get it over with and go. The hard part mentally though, young, you really not understanding the communication that much. And then Wi-Fi was a gift and a curse. So Wi-Fi, I was able to communicate and talk to them. My daughters, like they would send me videos and stuff like that, and it cheered me up. But then it also was a downer because you're like, oh man, I'm missing all the good shit.
That's new. That's new for you.
Yeah, so I was like missing.
But that's your first shit with the Wi-Fi?
Yes. But so I had it a little bit, but then I missed their deployment. I did the workups, but I didn't do the deployments. Yeah.
No.
I did the deployment.
I forgot.
I did the deployment with no Wi-Fi.
With no Wi-Fi.
Yeah. But it was
But it's good.
Yeah, but it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah,
because you get to be plugged in.
Yeah.
If you need to do something, you can go on and do it. But like sometimes the videos at certain moments, you just like, damn, I want to be whole. So that's the hard part of it. That's like the mental part of it that you gotta like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. Like refocus, get it and go.
Right.
So again, picking back up, on the whole deployment and everything like that. So for what I'm hearing is, it ain't just the fact that like, hey, I just want to pound my chest and do something. It's strategic the way you went about it. Like, hey, I'm gonna get all this done on the front end so that when you feel like my kids really need me, hey, everything should line up and I should be on shore duty. Yeah. So you just getting it on the back end rather than the front end. Yes.
That's good stuff. But I forgot to say, those two are really like the pain in my when it comes to Door Like a Hall of Fame, but I really respect their opinion. They know I have a standing expectation. They know that. And it's like, oh, this dude really getting wild with it. Like, he getting really wild with it. We know certain people he wouldn't even select for cheap. So I understand. Nice. I understand, and that's why we go in a greater direction. So I respect honesty. And that's when you got real friends, not somebody just to say, oh, I'm going to tag along. Like, no, I'm going to let him know. And the people that I have on my committees y'all selected for a reason, for a very specific reason. So I respect all of them. So thank y'all. I appreciate it. Going back to a little bit, let's go back to boot camp real fast. Okay. We all went through boot camp, some sort of transition from the civilian sector to the military, whether officer or enlisted. And we all come from different parts of the states. We can live in the same city and not even know one another. When you went to boot camp, the first 24 to 48 hours, how did that affect you during that time? Because you got to think, where you come from, and it's not everybody in there, the other 70, 80 something people, they different.
So boot camp. So for me, I went to an all-black high school. Like, we had white teachers, but all the students were black. Like, still in 2000. Like, that was a thing. Like, I was the last graduating class before they integrated. Oh, so going to boot camp, you had like I've seen like other races. Yeah. When you go to boot camp, it's like everybody together. But I remember my recruiter was like, if you got a 0 in your social security number, don't say, oh, you got to say 0. So I don't have that. So to me, but I'm waiting. So if somebody says, like, let's say their social security, they said like 101. And I just remember like somebody just popping out of nowhere and just going in. And for me, they always think I'm laughing. Like sometimes I'm not laughing. I'm just trying to be inward. Right. So they won't see anything. But the yelling didn't bother me though because my grandma.
Yelling bother you?
No, because my grandma, I'm telling you, I would get the business. It was like, you red heifer, nice, nasty, you so smart till you dumb. Like, she was trying to say I got book smarts, but not street smart. So, like, my grandma had already prepared me for my niece like that right now. My niece is a GM2 in the Navy. She like that right now. I'm like, girl, you so smart till you dumb. Like, but, and then her mom, my sister would be like, she get it from you. But so, my grandma, like, prepared me for all the yelling in the world. The only thing that would get me in boot camp was that damn swimming. Oh, for real? And everybody was like, "Hi, you from South Carolina? Y'all got waters like near you. Right? Why don't you know how to swim? We should just run in and run out." And for me, that's like a safety thing. It wasn't a fun
something to do.
Yeah. And the twins will be there right now. They're like, "How you a national from the Navy? You know, mind your business."
So you're not jumping off.
I will go to save somebody.
So you know what I'm talking about? Like
going back there.
So what's
I just want to make sure.
Set you up.
So what's crazy? What's crazy is I did a swim call.
You did a swim call
on the walks. I walked in the water. On the walk to the water with a K-pop on. So we had to walk in.
Nah, that's not the same.
But on the baton, you have to walk in on the walls from the well deck. So they don't let you come off the edge. So you have to walk into the well deck.
I'm talking about jumping off. Like, jumping off. Like, she brought up the water.
What's crazy though, in boot camp,
you had to jump off that tower.
I like jumping off the tower. That was my thing. Can't swim worth the shit. But they thought it was crazy. But I
just wanted to make sure. Because you said you did a swim, but that's not a swim call, but you did.
I did a swim call.
No, that's not
We lined up when we got in the ocean.
No.
I was in the middle of the ocean with rough seas. The BMs had the same people.
No, that's not the same thing. No, that's not even close.
You're not doing that.
Yeah. I'm going to let it go. I just like to ask the lady a question. That's all. She said she did a swim call. She did. She was out in the ocean.
I was out in the ocean. In the middle of the ocean.
It's not the same.
Rough seas.
We won't give you credit for it.
So again, seeing the integration from boot camp, like what was it like?
It was like eye opening, really. But everybody like got along. Okay. It wasn't like coming from South Carolina, because sometimes in South Carolina we did have like people that would say like racist stuff. I remember somebody called my grandma like the N-word one time. Like my aunts and uncles was like, "Where they live at?" type thing. Like they was ready to right. And I followed the person and everything. I never really experienced like any type of racial stuff. If it did, it was like not to my face type thing. But so in boot camp, like seeing like all these people, you're like, oh wow, and then you make friends with all these people, and man, I liked it. Outside of the swim, but no,
you good.
But outside of that, but to me, it was like it wasn't a problem. Yeah, it wasn't a problem. Like the yelling wasn't a problem. The only thing I hated was the freaking running, because I did not run. Like I would race, but I didn't do long runs. Long runs.
Did you race with like no shoes on the side?
Yes.
See, I was gonna say I left it alone.
Yes.
So that's the thing.
Yes. At NMC Oceana, I dusted somebody with no shoes on before.
You lying.
And Jose Colon was like, "Oh, Elma, I didn't know you had to run."
You raced somebody with no shoes on
in the grass
in the Navy.
I can see it.
My mom had a track scholarship. Like she went to she went to school on the track.
You raced somebody with no shoes on.
But it was in grass though, in NMC. It wasn't on the street.
Well, I don't care, but you still had no shoes on.
But she probably came up in the street. Barefoot.
Yeah, I had a rock road. Well, first it was sand and it was flooded, and then we got rocks. It's no rocks right now. This gravel is not paved. We don't have like the little town I'm from. Yeah. Like the town is part of the city. Like we don't have like street lights. Georgetown, but the little community is choppy.
I know Georgetown.
Yeah. So the little community is choppy, but we don't have like it's just stop signs. It's a straight road. You turn to wherever you need to go at.
How do they go?
Everybody know everybody, but it's a small town inside of the city of Georgetown. Yeah, and that's what we used to do. We'll walk around barefoot, we wrestle.
How many people was in the high school?
So this part was middle school. This part was high school. My graduating class was probably 60-something people. So when you say you like really was like the top 10 is really not really
Right.
They don't know how many people. Yeah.
But it was easy for you to like transition with those people in boot camp.
Yes.
Like even though you come from a small city, small town, when you get to boot camp and you was able to integrate with any and everybody, just to make sure, hey, we gotta win.
And I just think it's probably because how I was raised too. So
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, you a person. Okay.
Right.
Treat every person with respect type of thing. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's easy. Now you're a big whole match sheet. Like you could have went LDO, and we talked about these things. What made you say that I'm going to be a match sheet?
So before,
because you had the pedigree to be an LDO.
So before Chief was never a thought. I remember when I was at NMC, I was going to do a LDO package, and I was like, I want to be a gunner. That's all I wanted to be. Yeah. Commander Cologne, at that time, Lieutenant Cologne, he was doing like a pre-thing on me. He kept getting mad because I said, I want to be a gunner. The answer I was supposed to give him was, I want to be an officer. Yeah, so he was like, if you're an ensign and they don't see you an AO, how are you going to feel? And I'm just like,
I got you.
In my mind, the AOs know I'm a gunner. They're going to call me gunner type thing. So I kind of like throw it back. And then my mentor, he was like, hey, I know you can do it, but I want you to have, because I made first and I rolled to shore you. And so NMC didn't have a whole lot of first classes. So I had the evals, but I didn't have like the stuff I needed. And I was still young because I made first at 5.5. So I couldn't even be eligible until 8 years. So I was sitting the whole time. So he was like, hey, I want you to mature more. And he said, I'm not saying that you're not mature, just in your career, I want you to mature. And I respected that. So then I go to VP.
I say he's smart, right?
Yeah. And I went to VP 11 and VP 45. And then I remember when I made chief, and then it's the curtain you was telling me about. And then the squadron is different because like everybody kind of goes to the ranking boards, do all this type of stuff. I was the branch chief. So I made chief, and then bam, this curtain kind of opened. And you're looking at the gunner, and you're like, the gunner don't go to no ranking boards. The gunner don't do maps. The gunner don't do SOQ.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck the gunner do? I think they get paid more than me. Yeah, they coming out. So then I did that. So I remember that year I did a board. I did not pick up. And then the following year, everybody was like, the gunner at the time, Gunner Bethel, CW05 Wiggins, all of them was like, do the package. And I'm like, nope, I'm gonna be a master chief. And it was like, you sure? And they were having the board, and it was like, get in here. And I'm like, nope, I'm gonna be a master chief. Yeah. And so I didn't know that Gunner Wiggins was about to sit the board. So he sat the board. Rhonda ended up picking up. But it was just, I was relieved. Like it was like the year I did apply, like I was relieved that I didn't make it. And then the following year, I was teetering, and I'm just like, nope, that's not what I want. I'm going to be a master chief type thing. And it was like, you sure? They started talking about the percentages.
The first time you was a chief.
Chief. My first year as a chief, I applied.
For real?
Yeah, my first, it was Gunner Richardson. It was, because you remember the whole eval, the ball I called you about, when they thought my eval, everybody thought it was an MP, but it ended up being the P, because old girl was like, I'm senior to her, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. So when I came back from my eval debrief, Jay Ramsey and all of them, they was like, what'd you get? They all excited. I'm like, I got a P. And they was like, huh?
This like this like
my first year. Yeah.
Your first year actual chief eval.
Yeah. So all of them, like the MFJ, Turney, all of them, they was like, huh? They was like, you sure? Like, I know how to read eval. Like, but they were all like, so they go up there and they end up talking about it. And later, Sherry was the YNC at the time.
I remember.
She was like, oh, when you was on deck, everybody got debriefed before me. When you was on deck, this is what happened. So I'm like, well, I'm good. It's my first one. I'm not even tripping type thing.
So, even before all that, you said something earlier, right? Because you got to see, that you actually went to TAPS plans. So, and you said you made first in 5 years, which is like crazy time. You know what I'm saying? So, what pay grade were you when you went to TAPS?
I was first class. I was still at NMC.
Okay, so
I was a little bit before 10 years, so I don't think I had the twins yet, because I had the twins in 2009. I was still at NMC though when it happened.
So, why you was leaving and what made you change your mind?
Literally, I was just the OIC at the time. Like he had the chiefs. Like the chiefs were folding. Like he was telling people you can't do appointments until after this time, and I was rebellious. So whenever my appointment was is when I went. And it was like you can't go to the appointment. You're supposed to do your appointments after this time. I'm like, this is the appointment time medical gave me, whatever. But like he had all the chiefs, the senior chiefs, like everybody was shook.
Mhm.
And at the time, like I don't want to be one of y'all. Y'all scary. So like AL1 used to just take the licks all the time, and I was okay with taking licks. So it would be out there, and they'd be like, okay, Lieutenant Commander Cologne called you down in the office, and I gotta go in the office, and I'm like, God damn it, like, what is it now? So it was always in the office. And so one day he gave me this imaginary position that I'm the whole detachment LPO, and I'm charging everybody. So now I got to be this example, like just some shit. But then when I transfer, he had a second class call me, tell me I'm gonna get my transfer award, and that type of stuff, So it was like a little mind game. So it was that. Mm-hmm. But then I thought about it, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm halfway there. Let me go to 20. So the detail at the time, it was a chief. I think his last name was Roach.
Roach, yeah.
Chief Roach, and then the Master Chief was Master Chief Toll.
Yeah.
And I would just call them, and they would give me the skinny, and they like both times I detailed, they detailed me well. And I was like, look, this is what I'm trying to do. I was like, these in the Navy. Like my damn PTS wasn't in. Yeah, and I had one shot, and they was like, okay, you good? Pick some orders.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like I was supposed to, like my year group was supposed to apply, and he was like, well, you got one shot. If you don't make it, you gotta get out the Navy. And I did the little application.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. But I don't know what the hell I was going to do.
What are some bad moments? We all have issues. We all deal with stuff in the military. What was one of your bad moments? It's shocking to hear that side of that what you would do.
So again at NMC, this is when I was pregnant with the twins. I was like 7 months pregnant, still working. So it's hot as hell. I got on tennis shoes. I don't got no tennis shoe shit, but y'all gonna be out here working. I'm about to be out here getting it. And I remember we had this AO2. He retired as a second class, but AO2 Walker. It's hot.
Yeah.
I'm like 7 months pregnant. This is before Twaisha made me get on bed rest because she went to an appointment with me.
Yeah.
And I'm mad at her because I'm on bed rest and I can't work.
She was second class at the same time?
I was a first class. She was a second class.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, but she went to an appointment with me and just told the doctor all kinds of shit. She gonna laugh when she read this because we still talk about this. When she listens to this. So anyways, he wants me to train him on Quaso stuff. I don't got time. We got to get these bombs and these lows to the flight line. I don't have time. So then he was like, you trash. You don't want to talk to me. You don't want to show me this, da-da-da-da-da. And I mushed him. Yeah. And so he told, and it lingered for a while. And then they finally told, and they were saying, one of the dudes was like, she racist.
Yeah.
My mentor was white. My proteges was white or whatever. I'm racist. I took it. Racist. She assaulted him. All this other stuff. And so Chief Volker at the time, he was tied as a chief. He might have been chief, I don't know. But Chief Volker, he was like, well, you're not the only pregnant person. Yeah. You're not the only pregnant person here. You can't be assaulting people. I'm like, I'm the only pregnant person that don't work in the office and not out here, not saying it's excusing it, right. But it's hot as shit in Oceana.
Yeah.
I'm crossed on these lines to get to flight deck, and I'm 7 months pregnant with twins. Yeah. And I got on tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And you talk about like I mushed him. He a grown ass man. He'll be okay. Type thing. But yeah. So they did like a little NJP for me. It was dismissed though. But that one is.
So you mushed a grown man.
But you gotta we don't condone putting your hands on people.
This was back in the day. Don't do this now, y'all. This was like 2009.
But you still look where you at now.
2009.
You learned a lot of lessons. I never repeat the same mistake. And I take everything as a lesson. Yeah. So every time I win, it was for something different. That one got dismissed. But when you get around me, it's like you the holiest of holiest. Like I don't do anything wrong.
I got my moments. I didn't know you then.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff I'm learning now.
Yeah,
hey, be careful who you say you going to mentor.
That's what her Brazilian game was strong.
Yeah,
like you
she come back.
So much stuff.
Yeah.
I
tell people the story. That's what I do every season. I teach character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Character. That's my subject for a teacher's degree. I do character.
Okay.
I talk about it. I tell them my last NJP story. All of that stuff. Yeah.
So how
NJP is the chief.
Yeah, I tell them all of it.
So
I tell them how you cursed me out. It was like you would have made teach you too. I ought to punch you.
I know I was being selfish, but we work. Her and I work. That's why I always give her props and her respect. I don't see these bad sides. Yeah. She hides them from me.
Like it was difficult calling him, calling Jay Ramsey, and then I called like some of my sailors who transferred, and I told them about it. So that was hard. I'm like, before you hear it, You gotta hear it from me.
So that's something that don't normally happen, right?
Yeah.
As a senior leader, again, like we was talking about earlier, the junior sailors, they lead above themselves, not just straight influence. Yeah. So those junior sailors, you felt the need to humble yourself and, hey, let me let you know what's going on with your chief. So, one, what made you do that? Two, how was that conversation?
So for me, like, I know as a chief, I know I was like a hard leader, like perfectionist, all that stuff. So I remember going to NJP for Jackson. I'm not gonna say which Jackson. She knows which one. I'll go to her NJP, and I remember saying, hard, perfectionist, all this. And what she went to NJP was wild. But then I remember I said something to the fact like she didn't make a mistake. She made a choice type thing. And I could have said something different, but that was what I felt at the time.
Yeah. Can you say that all the time?
Yeah. So then you fast forward. You fast forward to me. Had the plane. Had the hotel room, didn't plan to drink, but drank, did cheap liquor. Did cheap liquor that was blue. I don't drink blue liquor at all no more. I don't get nothing from the bottom shelf. But had the plan.
She said, I did nothing from the
nothing.
bottom shelf. I still drink.
Nothing.
Responsible.
Yeah.
And
nothing blue. So I just remember like all of that. And I didn't even drink a lot. Like people, the statements and then say she had 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Like 2 drinks to me is water. So had 2 drinks. There was something where somebody said they had put something in my drink. We had to do NCIS stuff, but I didn't want to prolong all of that. I just wanted to get the shit over with. Again, because so we do all the people do the statements. Some people didn't want to do statements because like they really ride with me. Ronell, first Black AWO Master Chief. That's my dude. No chains. But so him, he didn't want to do like people didn't want to do statements because they know that just wasn't me. But for me. I didn't debate anything because I didn't remember anything. But I know Webster, Sherry, me and Sherry still rock right now, YNCM. Webster, she AOC, just messaged me. Like I just know in the process of my drinking, somewhere I assaulted them. Like, everybody was like, "You strong as shit." Like I don't remember nothing. So when I had to finally go and do the thing, they were saying that, and I was like, pretty much like whatever they said, I did because I don't know what I didn't do. So I'm big on accountability. My sailors know I was big on accountability. So that weekend, when people are recapping to me what happened, like Jill Monet had transferred, he a senior chief now. DJ chief now.
You had some good one, like people that I'm watching you and these sailors. I see you. I'm like
they racking up.
Shirley doing her thing as a first class. I'm like she doing her thing. I see her, and I see them now. Monet about to be a warrant officer. These kids like chiefs. It's like you build that tree, and it's like, oh wow,
my little acorns.
Yeah.
But like big on accountability, and I do not like to be a hypocrite. Like I tell people I'll be a lot of things, I'll never be a hypocrite. So I was like, okay, I don't want them to hear anything from anybody outside of me. So I was just calling them early that morning, just telling them da. Finally get around to calling him because like him and Jay was like the hardest. Because Jay had just retired. It was like the hardest thing to tell them to, because Scott Keffer, ADC, gonna lie about a Christmas party stuff. So people already thought like, okay, when she drank, she had issue, but he lied on what happened. And I'm a selective. I'm not about to argue with you what happened. But if you had brought it up, I was going to bring up what really happened. So he never brought it up on my final night when he was supposed to. But anyways, I just didn't want to be a hypocrite. And I'd rather them hear it from me for one of them. They was receptive. They was like, thanks for calling. The ones that, I did call who wasn't there. So anyways, I remember everybody was working in Cecil Field. I had to go to the hangar base so everything got done. I had to go to Jacksonville so everything got done. And so I remember in the process, the sales know what was going on, but you had AZ3 Jackson at the time. He was like, "Hey Chief, can you frock me?" He know what happened, but he still wanted me to frock him. And the CO was like, "Okay, come on." And then I remember YN1 Anthony and YN1 Gallardo at the time. They both are chiefs, one retired. Like YN1 came down and was like, "Can I pray for you?" We prayed. Wow. Gallardo came and was like, "Hey, you are not your mistake." She told me your issues. The biggest like fucked up people were the chiefs. So that's how like when chiefs get in certain like I'm not talking like the ones who fraternize, the ones who do drugs, but chiefs who do you get a ARI, something like that. I do not shit on them because it was like, "Oh, you done? It's gonna take you at 12." I was at 12 years. And then I was up for senior chief. Maybe 14 years. I was at 14 years at that time, but up for senior chief. But they was like, "Yeah, you're probably gonna do 20 and be a chief. Like, it's gonna take you 5 years." Like all the shit they tell you because they think you're on their type of speed. So anyways, but people were like, how come, Chief Ears is in, well, how's she able to front people? And the seal was like, well, the seal asked her. So how's she able to do this?
They had a problem like that?
Yeah, like Chief. And they was like, well, she's the favorite. Watch, they're going to get slapped on the wrist. But then the people who did not like, because it was Irv Bird.
Yeah.
So Irv Black dude, they like, oh, she the favorite. The CO like her. She cool with the CMC. She's the EP.
But you put that work in.
Yeah, they was like, she gonna get a slap on the wrist. So something had to be done. Whatever, I'll be the scapegoat. But at the meantime, the other people, they're out there sexually harassing sailors, but because the sailors don't want to press charges, they're not getting walked like me, which was fine. So I go to NJP. I remember I'm in there ugly crying, and I tell Captain Widener, he commander at the time, I was like, I just want to get back to do what I do, leading sailors or whatever. And he was like, I'm gonna give you a letter of reprimand, XYZ. And I remember checking out though, like they handled me with so much grace. So I ended up getting an SP, but it was like a 386. They didn't completely like shit on my eval. At the end, it was saying like, made a mistake, great chief, this, like that. Check out the XO. He's like, I don't want to talk about none of that NJP stuff. Yeah. You did so much good, like they handled it with so much grace. Right. And then when they let me keep my staff duty orders, so then I go work for the Commodore. I checked in. I told the Commodore what happened. I told the CMC what happened. I told the Mo. I told the whole mess. Yeah, I told the whole mess, and it was like, thanks for sharing type thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I told her, and I remember I was paranoid and leading on correcting sailors, and then Brian Porter, my favorite CMC handout. But Brian Porter was like, appreciate nobody thinking about you. He was like, if you think people thinking about you, you're never gonna bounce back. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna just all be paranoid. But like he put me in my place, yeah. And then after that, fix your hair.
Right.
So like back on, because I felt like a hypocrite because I had just gotten in trouble.
So 2 questions right from that. You said Jackson was somebody that just went to mass and said in that captain's mass that she didn't make a mistake, she made a choice. Yeah. So from the moment that your situation happened,
because it was fairly close. It was fairly close. And I tell people all the time, I tell people, I said that captain's mass was the best thing to do. That could happen for me because the universe got a way of humbling itself. Because I've been cocky for a long time. Like, and people was telling me, like, they was like, none of Ellis not gonna be always here to protect you. Ty not gonna always be here to protect you. Like, you cocky. That's what people said though. Like when you transferred during my season, little Tom Ayers, I'm gonna keep it cute, but like he was the main one. But Tom Ayers, like trash CMC.
I just don't
like he looked at my package one time and he was like, you need to go to the ship and get your surface pen. While I'm sitting there with my airman surface pen. I have my surface pen since 2004. Yeah. This is like 2012, 13. He's talking to me. Like it's sitting there.
So my second question is, so the second question is, from the moment that you from the moment it happened and you went to mass and transferred, like what was that?
So after I went to mass, I was able to go back to Cecil Field with all the sailors. We did like a little gift exchange, like the sailors that I assaulted, like Sherry, my homegirl, like that day, like to that day, we like it wasn't like I had issues with the people. The only thing I hate is that when AO3 at the time, she's a chief, when she asked me like why I didn't have a why because I don't know what happened. Yeah. Like I helped her when she was trying to when they first started with the same-sex marriage, me and her worked through all that stuff together. It was just like crazy. And to this day, like she just messaged me and told me about her crap orders she got. Yeah. I'm trying to get her in the real fleet. But so it was not like like everybody knew. Like, yeah. Like, really, and like so I think everybody, and that's why like that coin that had got made, I said your character determines your consequences because my character, like, helped me with everything.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like, I tell people, so I led differently after that. So any other NJP, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, I still know people who BS in me, but I still do understand that things happen. Yeah. Like, we all human. And sometimes, like, at that point, for me, like, we weren't humans. Like, we AOs, we about to get to the business. Like, don't be fucking up type thing. So I tell people all the time. So like when they see me with my red stripes, they like, you can go gold. And I'm like, yeah, but I earned these red type thing. And so not everybody want to wear red because they cheat. Like you didn't get in trouble, put your gold stripes on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they be doing it now. Cause the gold, they'll say it. Cause the gold stripe, the red stripes are cheaper. They do it cause they don't have to do it. Like I earned that, and it pisses me off.
It's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I mean, also about it when they said that everybody can do it, and now they don't want to do it.
And now they don't want to do it.
So you don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it.
And then it's just like, before when you get in trouble, so you've been retired for a while. Yeah. The gold stripes is a thing for where, if you got in trouble, you can't record, it resets. But now it don't matter.
Now you can just put, if you got in trouble, you can just wear gold. Like, I refuse to.
Say what?
Like, if you got in trouble, you can keep gold on.
You don't have to wait.
No, you just wear gold if you want to. Like, if you did 12 years and you want to wear gold, you just put on gold. Even if you got in trouble year 13 or year 12, you just wear gold. I still wear my red. I got 2 more years.
Does it really make a difference?
Kind of.
To me,
Why is it?
it's heritage.
I mean, I got it.
History, tradition.
It was like you had to be consecutive, what, 8 years consecutive?
12.
12.
Yeah. 12 years, no problem.
Yeah.
12 years, no trouble.
Now they all just want to do it.
Okay.
Go get a letter from Uncle Man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's a little weird.
yeah.
So, as a Master Chief now, again.
That's the first time I told that without tearing up.
But no,
Because I just told this like last week, and I was like,
yeah, that is a podcast. You should relax. You seen some stuff, dealt with some stuff, and you like, wow. Because I explain to people, it's not easy going from an E1 to whatever to an E9. You know, you see some stuff, and then when you're there, you kind of like solo. Now you in a blessed position because you got your girl from when back in the day. That's rare, but you become close, you know, with your fellow Master Chief. But what challenges have you faced so far, like being a Master Chief? Because it's not like it's easy. You know, your pedigree shows that you care. What type of challenges have you faced?
So I would say the biggest challenge is it's the Chiefs mess, obviously. Everybody chief different, and Brian Porter, he used to always tell me my problem was I think that all chiefs are like me, and he never lied though, because I really think that everybody should operate at a certain type of caliber at a chief. So some people want to be a chief just because it's an extra, pay grade, but people don't really want a chief type thing.
Right.
So one of my first classes, he's a chief select right now. We was on a mess deck. There was a sailor here, clearly in dreads, no religious accommodation, none of that stuff. So I was like, hey, AL1, that sailor need to fix his hair type thing. And he was like, well, Master Chief, it just didn't happen, today. Right. And it didn't. So he was like, that sailor got a HOD, that sailor got a DLCPO, that sailor got an LCPO, that sailor got an LPO. Like, who did quarters this morning? And he was right. Like, who did quarters? Like, he was wrong because I said, go there and talk to the sailor.
You're not used to that. Like, if I say something, that means like go up and do it.
So the senior chief ended up talking to the sailor. The sailor gave this division. Come to find out he in a whole nother division. But the next day I seen the same thing. So we have all these trainings. Like on deployment, we had training every fucking Wednesday. So we talked every Wednesday on deployment. We had the mess it was mandatory. And if you wasn't there, your DLCPO had to tell the CMC why he wasn't going to be there. Minus a watch. But and we talk about things like regulations, enforcing standards, things of that nature. But then we got back and relaxed. But not even on deployment, not everybody was doing it. So like the hardest thing is the Chiefs mess because they don't realize like the stuff they allow, it becomes practice. Right. So if you let your sailor do this for 4 months and then I roll up, I'm not gonna let your sailor do that. And they're gonna say, well, my chief said it's good, and then I'm gonna have to be like, well, your chief wrong. And then now, I'm being me.
Right.
Like,
And that's the hardest thing.
And it don't bother me. Like I'll be me all day.
Yeah, you got to stick to your standard. Yeah, because if I allow you to get by me with that, then it's gonna be you, then somebody else, then somebody else, then somebody else. But when you see me, like I'm gonna avoid her.
I used to have to call him about one of my GMCSs. He's retired now, and I was like, "You're never gonna convince me to not have standards." Because every time I put out something, it was like pushback, and I'm like, "You're never gonna convince me to not have standards. I don't care what you did for X amount of years. Like you're never going to convince me because again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Right. And they're going to follow the rules.
And see, and the flip side about it being that I've served in a mess with you before, if a person like you that's in the mess, you make it easier for the rest of the mess to enforce the standards. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you out there doing it by yourself. Right. And I'm just noticing since I'm speaking on it, just your, like you mentioned, your caliber and your character, just me being on baton and just watching you, whether you realize it or not, it was times that you influenced me, because I used to come down to the mess, like, she down in the mess again, like, when she sleep, when she do this, when she like,
right.
You know, it'd be like every time I'm down here, you down here. Like
Yeah.
when she be working, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But we go to the meetings or whatever, like all your stuff is in line, you know.
Yeah.
And it used to bother me, like when do she work? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, cause she's always where things is happening at,
Yeah.
you know. And even for me, like I know how much time I used to just, you know, spend in my office, you know, just making sure, you know, things is being handled in the way that I want it to be handled. You know what I'm saying? But again, just wanted to put that out there. You know, you was one of those people that was in that mess that I was just like, yo, they pushing me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, at that time, you know, knowing this was the last ride, you know, it's easy to be like, you know what? No, I'm finna chill. I'm finna relax. But it's just like, you know, hey, I gotta show them what right looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you definitely kept me going because like some days, like I was telling you, like that pack, like I could hear Jay Ramsey like, don't take up the pack, BC. He's all good at boot camp. BC, don't take up the pack. So I can always just hear him, like just telling me that all the time. And then like you, I'm like, damn, like that's a Master Chief. Like so when you see a Master Chief, you know. So you'll have people like they walk around and they got like 2 stars on, but a lot of them not Master Chiefs. Like they got on the anchor, but it's just not the same, and it's frustrating when you see that. But like you and Jay, like y'all let me run amok all over Baton, and definitely appreciate when I say you let me run. They still assemble the mess, like
absolutely.
Like, come on down here, Master.
You ain't never tell me that.
I just assemble
but
the mess.
see, to me, it's just like,
I was just assembling.
you know,
hey, come on down.
Because when I was on the Carry, when I was on the Lincoln, like she reminded me of myself. You know, it's just like as a Master Chief, you want the Senior Chief to run the mess. Like it ain't my job.
No, you're right.
You know, to run the mess, and it's just like when you see somebody doing it, it's just like, what you need me to do? What you need my support?
And they didn't like it.
You
so
know
a lot of times he had to tell them like she doing what a Senior Chief's supposed to do. So like they act like they liked it, but the minute I left, like a lot of them, like they rode my coattail. Like it's like when people say they'd rather be your friend than be your enemy. It was that type of stuff. So they were like, yeah, go. The minute I left, like, we're not doing that shit no more. We're not doing that shit no more. And they don't realize that before I left, I put them in the positions they in.
I got you. Some people ain't going to recognize it, and that's fine. That's fine because you know what you was doing was the right thing. It's not like you was out there trying to harm nobody or hurt nobody. Like, yo, I'm just trying to elevate all of y'all.
That's it.
You know, that's it. You know,
I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you up.
I'm calling you up.
Like
I'm calling you up. Like I'm just letting you know what we're doing. And you need to, come on with me. Let's get it.
Because a lot of times it'll be like, this is how we look. This is how we look.
Right.
This is what this junior seller thinks or that person thinks. And a lot of times, like, it wasn't wrong. You know, and it's just like, okay, well, I don't have to say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to say a word.
I gotta say a word. People will speak on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's good or bad, but we know the truth.
Right.
We know the truth.
Right. So it's just that time, you know, we starting something new on the show. You know, we gonna call this the legendary moment, right? That time in your career, whether it be in uniform or out of uniform, just when it just started to click, right? And listening to your story, you know, I think you might have already mentioned it, but, you know, just formally for the record, you know, when did that moment hit you where it was just like, okay, this ain't about just coming to work day in and day out. You know, this is about my purpose. This is about my reason, my why, my legacy. You know, your legendary moment. What was it for you?
So I'm gonna go back to VP 45. I was AO1 at the time. I did not have a chief at that time.
Bring your mic up a little bit.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, VP 45. I didn't have a chief. Ty was in maintenance control. Jay Ramsey, he was the AT senior chief, but he was the divisional LCPO. We had a chief that was an overseer, but then that person, like when we got accolades, that person was like, okay, I'm here. But when the shit was bad, it was AO1. So I had a streak of bad shit. And mind you, I never told this when I was getting my ass chewed, but people behind the scenes knew. So the sailors, they had trained me because, again, I was out of platform, so they had trained me on everything to do. For some reason, they started having a slew of procedural compliance issues where they was just going off the rip day after day after day after day. And AO1, like people all say I'm the acting chief. They don't know what that is. Because, you know, normally you handle your acting chief first class with kid gloves. No. It was like I was fighting a kangaroo.
What's an acting chief?
That's what people would say on the eval. I'm acting LCPO.
Oh, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Acting chief.
It's
I
all
never
the
knew that
time.
you can act like a chief.
But people say it all the time when they don't have the chief, they're the acting chief.
Yeah.
But I know.
I'm being sarcastic.
But I know when I have a first class filling in,
Yeah.
I handle them with kid gloves.
Yeah.
I'm hard, any of my chiefs, they'll tell you I'm way harder on them than I am on the junior sales, like 100%. So anyways, they was just doing all kinds of shit, like back to back to back. And I remember Ty was like, "You guys make me look bad." I think I had just won SOQ or some shit like that too. Supposed to go, I'll end up going up for the year, but I was like, "Why am I gonna go? Y'all know y'all not gonna give it to me. I'm not gonna win." So anyways, he was like, "Your guys gonna make you look bad." And then Jay Ramsey was like, "Look, it's not much we can do for you," because it was like that frequent. So I remember I have to go into the maintenance offices. I think it was like an 04 on the first class. I go in this office, maintenance mass chief in there, people at parade rest. I'm at attention, and I am getting the business. And at the time, single mom. I had the twins on sea duty. So no one knew what I was doing for daycare. So nobody knew like I had to drop them off here, then here, and here to get the work on time. So in his mind, the Mo was just pretty much just saying, come to work earlier, stay late. You don't know what I'm doing to come when I'm coming.
To our ignorance.
Yeah.
You were still making stuff happen.
Yeah, like wasn't late.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Nothing was late. Everything
You
was on
still
time.
was like making stuff happen when you was at work.
Yeah. And then so my single thing is if they were late, like if they came in after me, you're late. That's the rule. And we would race. They would see me. They would run the hang back. I would run the outside. And if you're late, you had to bring donuts.
Okay.
But like they would tell you, like Bader is a warrant officer right now. That's another one of my nuggets. But we would race. We would just take off because if you in the office after me, you're late, and we were bucking it. So anyways, they were like fucking up. And like the last thing I remember, I tell Gunnar Archibald, he went in there and fucking told the Mo, "Here I go, just getting the business." And then so I remember going to the like I said, Ty was like, "They're making me look bad." Jay was like, "It's not much we can do," because it's always something. And again, the chief was only there. He was the AE. He was only there for the good stuff. For the punching, it was AO1. AO1 was getting through business. And so I remember going to the Sailor of the Year board. Before I went, I said, I don't know why I'm going. Y'all know, I know the drill. Like, I'm not stupid. At this time, I'm at like maybe 11 years or 12, coming off of shore duty. Maybe 11 years at this time. 10 and a half, 11, whatever. So I go to the board, and I remember I did fairly well. But in my mind, I already know I was going to get it. So I stumbled on the Sailor's Creed and kind of like finished it up at the end. So I go down there and me and Jay talking about it, and then I was just like, I can't remember what happened. I don't know if I had got my eval or the results came out, and I was like, I don't want to be a chief anyway. And he was like, I'll punch you in your fucking throat. Yeah, Jay Ramsey's like 6'6", big boys.
Yeah.
He was like an ass, like super. People think I'm an asshole. People thought he was a super asshole, but for me, I'm like, oh, he's a teddy bear.
He was a teddy bear.
That didn't bother me though. Like people being an asshole did not bother me, but it bothered people because again, my grandma. Like I grew up with this. Like this is nothing. So it was the eval, and I knew what my eval was supposed to be. I also know compared to everybody, I was supposed to be the Sailor of the Year.
You're supposed to be, in our eyes, an EP. Although those things happened, we was like, yeah, she's still an EP.
Yeah, it was like AEP. So when
the maintenance officer changed it.
Yep. But
he changed.
So all of this stuff. And all the EPs got debriefed. And they're like, what you get? And I'm telling them like an MP, no number. And none of them can believe it. None of the EPs can believe that I'm not one. But I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a chief. I'm just here for the sales. But at the time, I was like, I'm just here to work. I'm not thinking about chief. I don't care about none of that stuff. Like, me and my sailors about to get to it. And like none of them sailors, though, if somebody was to come and tell them something, whether it was the gunner or anybody, they wasn't moving unless I was like, go do it. Like that, even when I made chief, it was just like, because I remember Gunner Bethel was like, you going to listen to me or you going to listen to Chief? And the sailors was like, and they was pointing at me. So that's when I was like, okay, like they know I'm going to take care of them and then they're going to ride for me. So chief or not chief, like I'm good. And that's why I talked to sailors. And I was like, y'all ever heard first they were first because they get down because they don't make chief. And I'm like, there were no chiefs at one point. It was just first class. And so you can still lead without being a chief. But they get so down and they get on Facebook and it was like, I had an EP, I did this, I did this, I did this. How come I didn't make chief again? You don't gotta be a fucking chief to lead. Like, yes, it's good, but everybody don't make it.
Right.
Like one of my best mentors was a second class, or actually he was a third class because he got reduced in rank again.
Mm-hmm.
So Troy Knapp, like, never made second. Never made second again, pretty much. Like Ryan O'Rear retired as a AO1. Like some of the best people don't make chief, but they get wrapped up into checking the block. But like for me, when I didn't think about it, it happened because the next year it happened. None of those EPs made chief. Like I was the only one, and then we had to transfer in to make it. So none of those EPs made it. And I remember Eddie McKibben was like, you know, stay in the fight. You can be good because he said at the end of the day they're gonna be like, "Good morning, chief," and then that's what happened.
Right.
So I just focused on doing what I knew a good leader was going to be. Like at that moment, I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm in it, and like they're gonna get it too.
Gotcha. And a lot of times that's kind of what happens, right? You know, when we focus on the job and not necessarily the title. You know what I'm saying? What's in it for you?
Yeah.
You know, I remember being a first class, and once I developed that mind state, you know, like, hey, my job is to make sure everybody good.
Yeah.
You know, things just start rolling. Things just start happening. You know, how can I help you? You know, vices, yo, I gotta get this, I gotta get that. It's just, you know, and that'd be my advice for a lot of first classes. You know, like, how do I be a good first class? Help your fellow first classes. You know, get involved, get engaged, answer those
like,
emails.
work as a team.
Yeah, that's it, right there.
Yeah, because I keep trying to
and
get mine to work as a team, but they don't want to.
Thing.
Yeah.
You got a group of people that you never seen, you never talked to, never dealt with, but within 8 weeks back then, you would come together and you marching in sync.
Yeah.
You cadence in sync. You doing this in sync. If you keep things like that, it's hard to fail. Because we seen it. Like, you got a group of people come together that you never met in your life. And in 8 weeks, we just doing the thing.
Yeah. At some point, you got to make it. Like, it ain't about me. It's about everything that's around me.
Everything
and
is
I
around.
think that's what people lose. And I think that's why every year we lose parts of the initiation too. Because you get newer chiefs, and then, you know, they kind of, you don't make them do things mandatory like their first real year. So they kind of linger. So for us, we make them it's mandatory because when you lead the season, so they're not active the next year, and then the next year they want to lead a committee. They don't know what's going on with the committee. So every year we like lose stuff. People don't want to show up to PT.
Right.
Training is fun, so people are going to show up to training because they get the yell. So I by the time I retire, like
really,
it'll be done. And it's
titles
because we
with
give
no
it up.
time, titles with no time, and promotions without preparation.
100%.
Really?
But we gonna.
I kind of said that at my retirement speech.
Yeah.
I think it went over some heads.
We gonna end up losing it, and I tell people we gonna lose it because y'all want to lose it. Because when they say put on khakis, they're like, why we gotta wear khakis?
Because you're just supposed to.
You get what I'm saying?
You earned them.
It's stuff like that. Why we gotta wear khakis? And then you get mad because now they have khakis with us.
What they want to wear?
Type 3s. They want
FRBs, Type
you know.
3s, Tupacs.
Yeah,
Like, why we gotta wear
but
khakis?
anyway.
Why I gotta put them on?
So it's like no love on a khaki uniform. Like that's what we.
Come on, man. You've been out of the game for.
I've been out of the game for. That's why I'm asking the question. It don't make sense to me. It's like I told somebody it was like it felt good to put some khakis on.
Absolutely.
To the point when I was able to wear wash khakis. Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
No, it's like
you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Some wash khakis.
Why?
So even putting khakis on, like it was like a big deal.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. But like some people,
So, but but
why we gotta wear khakis?
But thank you for your answer. You can add that to your list of first too. You know, the first for the leadership, first female leadership award, first dual female AO Master Chiefs, and then the first to answer combat deployment. Yeah, because that was a rough deployment.
So let's talk about. Go ahead, AP.
And then again, now she's the first guest to answer the legendary moment question. So that's just add to your first. Make sure that's in your program.
Slide a first for her.
Yeah.
So you just came off of like a real deployment.
Yes.
I mean, we
some things.
A lot of us in my 30 years, I have done some stuff when I was a young sailor,
but not after that. Like, y'all experienced some things out there.
Some things, you hear me?
People talk negative.
Yeah.
This, and that. How was the mess dealing with that during that deployment time? You know, like y'all hear the chatter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all hear the chatter.
When I got time, I'd be like.
And see, that's. But I'm gonna let you answer the question. But I didn't like the fact. Well, go ahead.
So for us, like, so I want to clarify because a lot of people thought, like, when they say they evaded missiles, they thought the news was just saying that that's some real shit. Like, missile
I want to
inbound.
hear that. Like,
Missile inbound was a real thing. You had like less than 7 minutes to respond. So at that time, you don't have time to tie down no jets. You don't have time for people to get off tractors. You don't got time for people to get off cockpits. So it is what it is because the carrier has to shake. Like, think of a big person running down a hill. The carrier got to move.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, we would hear ballistic missile inbound repetitively. It's to the fact like you count like, okay, 7 minutes, we still here, we evaded because the carrier is going to move, and it's moving fast. So whatever is not tied down when we're shaking, it's going to shake loose. So people don't realize that. Yeah. So you have to be, if you're not sitting there like shit.
That's not how we train.
Yeah, we went
because I'm gonna say because you know I've been a fan of this is a drill missile inbound, and we mentally we on some drill stuff.
We're not at that.
And then now when the TAO
you ain't at that state no more.
You're not.
And so anytime the TAO would even come on, even if it's a set River City, people are like, but I'm telling you, like the sailors.
That's a whole trigger though.
Yes.
But see, the thing is, I did that baton cruise in 23, and we got a combat action ribbon too.
That's right.
That's right. Over there. Right. This day and age, going over there, you're gonna be in the thick of things. You're gonna be in the thick of things.
They are trying to risk it all.
It's real
off top, like it's real.
It's real deal. It's real deal stuff, and that's why for me, seeing the Facebook and jokes, and I'm seeing people that I know that's deployed with you, feeling the need to kind of like defend themselves, it would irritate me because it's just like the people that's with the jokes and trying to say the negative things. It's just like, where are you at right now? Like you're running from sea duty. You know what I'm saying? You in the comforts of your own home and everything, So it's just like, nah. And certain things ain't to be discussed. Not even here, not on Facebook, not on nothing. And we've all, especially if you in this uniform, how stories can be tailored. You got to learn how to read between the lines.
On Twitter. That's what
even the news itself. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, let's think about this, people. Like even when you was out there, was you out there or was you out there?
You
know what I'm saying? Because again, to your statement on how you move, it's people that do a whole deployment and they really don't do nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But get big. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. And not good big.
Not the good big.
Not the good big.
I'm talking about, that Navy cash card, see the ship store. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it's out there, people getting to the thick of things, getting qualified, doing the jobs. And for me, I was one of those people. So certain stories is just like, I'm using my common sense, like, hey, okay. It's more to it than that. I'm not finna. That's some face value stuff.
My chief, like when we first got over there, one of the first nights, my chief, AOC Hendricks, she watched a missile come across it, and then she running. They trying to figure out why she running. She like, y'all better come on, like come on down here. And then people was like, oh, she shouldn't have ran. What the fuck should she have done? I see a missile coming. I'm striking below.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But
like,
she seen
in my time frame. Only thing I had to deal with was a jet coming up behind a P3. I was like an AO3, AOA and AO3.
It's different.
But when it's
different.
You can see that shit.
And this was back in 90.
You can see them launching it to another country.
This was 92, 93-ish. But we talking about right now, you couldn't tell me
and they
y'all wasn't safe out there.
You got drones and everything.
They were coming.
Like, come on, man.
You can see it going into another country.
Because I'm still on the thing when you talking about, you don't hear this is a drill. This is a drill.
No, none of that.
It's real time, man.
Real time. And people don't get
it. Hear me out. You used to hearing this is a drill. This is a drill.
See, even for me, certain stuff I read, you know, in the papers or whatever, the only thing I'm thinking about is those sailors, you know, like hearing a real GQ.
Yeah. For the first, say for the ones that they first deployment.
A real GQ.
This their first deployment. They're going to think that's the norm.
But even when we had our collision and the collision alarm went off, them sailors were getting it. Like,
For
they
real?
were getting it. Like,
that's what I want to talk about. Like, how did they like come together? Like,
they just got up and got to it. And like, you had sailors like, oh, don't worry about this. We got this in the locker. Like, they were getting it. And you're like, so I'm telling you, out in port, they misfits.
Yeah.
They misfits.
Well, they sailors.
Yeah, but you give them a
let's
purpose.
Be honest. They sailors.
You give them junior sailors a purpose, they are on it. I will not trust their ass in port because they're giving me hell right now. Yeah. But I'm telling you, you tell them they got to build some bombs and get some missiles up, it's coming. With no issue.
I love it.
But yeah, that collision alarm went off. We had that collision, getting it. My dumb ass is on the flight deck with Jill Monet. At night, it's dark as hell. We ain't got no float coat on.
Oh my Lord.
With me. No float coat. And he says, yeah, they said a missile hit us. We're on the flight deck looking for smoke and a missile.
Looking for it.
But it's the adrenaline.
I get it.
Because what are we going to do? So I said, Sherelle, what happened? And she was like, oh, we collided with a thing. But afterwards, I'm thinking, I said, you really have me on this fucking flight deck at night, no float coat on. You know I can't swim, Jill, but he can swim. You know I can't swim. And we looking for a missile. Like, what were we doing? But again, it was the adrenaline.
It's you know, fear. You know, you either going to face it and go for it, or you going to run. You know what I'm saying?
But we was looking for this missile.
To me,
but
it's
being
just
out
like,
there, you can't run.
But it's people that's going to do it. And the point that I'm making is
out to sea?
That's how you know what you built for. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Some people is
you
about
don't know what direction
you
even swimming in.
But again, AOCM was so at ease because he know what he trained.
And that's the thing. You know, it's just like
he know what he trained. He was so at peace. But I'm
what she said.
Got it.
What she said, she liked chaos.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She said, like
we didn't
some
sleep
people
for so many hours because we were just up. This happened like 1, 2 in the morning. Like we were up, but literally we thought we got hit by a missile because we did have a hole.
Y'all didn't feel nothing.
One of our mount, we had to clear the mount.
Oh, for real?
Like some people did feel it, but like some of us were asleep. It's like the dead end of the night. So we was like, damn, the Houthis. They said it was going to get us, and they got us. You know.
How was the environment for like the next 48 hours?
So we was on ease because the Navy, like when you have a collision, somebody's going to get fired, and I wish they get away from that. I wish they investigate first, get to the root cause, and then do what you got to do because, like our CO at the time, Captain Snowden, amazing, like amazing CO, personable. Come down there and do rock the boat with us. Rock the boat is when we do a bunch of line dances. Come down there like when we're not
that's good
in the danger zone. Like he was just a good person in the way they did him. So they relieved him. We go import Suda to repair the ship. They relieved him. They didn't let him, like while nobody was here. Nobody was there. People in port. I try to wait. That's why she came with me. I try to wait because like that's my captain. So I want to talk about. We waited and they're in there talking to him, letting him know. And he already told me because after I was like talking to him, after they talking to him, I said I don't want to talk about that, and he was like, I will feel embarrassed if I didn't get ready. That's what he said. He said, and that had hit me, and I was like, sir, I get it, but no.
Right.
Like, no.
We know what the truth is.
Yeah,
but
you got us all through here, and like they end up getting to the root cause of stuff, but that's after they relieve them.
Yeah,
so
it's too late.
Yeah, you bring him out, Captain United States Navy departing.
Yeah.
You don't let him address the crew. So we come the next day. We got the Ike CO, which they just brought him and really didn't tell him he was coming to take command. So he come unprepared. So he didn't do the Ike change of command, couldn't address his crew. Yeah. And now you're like, hey, this is the captain. And he, no fault to his own, because maybe I would have thought the same thing, but then he came in thinking like we're all toxic.
That's right.
So now everybody's toxic. Right. And this is why this happened. And that's not why it happened. It happened because we get rushed in port. Because Suda kept shifting. So we got rushed into port. Then we pulled out port because you have to be here at this time.
Right.
So then we RAS. Then we ammo unload because we had to bring on a whole bunch of shit some more. And then the next day is the thing. So you got to think you're doing a long RAS, taking on fuel and whatever this day. We did a pretty long ammo unload the next day.
Right. And
then the collision the next day. Type thing. So boom, 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 because we have to be here by this time.
Yeah.
And then when we got there by this time, nothing happened. We ended up going back into port to fix the ship. But what the admiral that was Sixth Fleet was classy. He flew in. He didn't want him to leave by himself. So he flew in and on his plane, on his private plane, flew him back to Italy or wherever he flew from to go home. He came to Samira's going away. We all like swarmed him and all that stuff. Cool. But he was just a good CO, and I just wish. Yeah. I know he's a senior person. He's ultimately responsible for the ship. We get
That's
that,
how it works.
but something got to change. Like investigate and then go, because it's not hard to be a CO of a carrier. Like that whole training pipeline, and you do all of this, and you dedicate all of this, and then
for a reason.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it's not hard, but it is hard. So all the things that y'all dealt with out there on deployment, and it's a lot. And I know things that we probably didn't even get to talk about, or that didn't make the news, or whatever it may be. How was the mess? You know, you have a leader that we always think, like, she's up and coming. She's there. I shouldn't say up and coming, but she's there. And you be thinking like, oh, wow, could she be that MCPON that we looking for? Well, we get gassed up. You know, how was her performance, and how did the mess support her through all of those things? I'm talking about Command Master Chief McBride, Samira McBride. How did the mess support her when y'all was dealing with all of that?
So, I wouldn't say that a lot of the stuff affected her. I would say if it did, she didn't really show it. Okay. But I know we all got together and we would rally, kind of brief what's going on. Okay, this is what's going on, and all that stuff like that. So I will say, like, when Captain Snowden did get relieved, you know, obviously it affected her. That was her CO for 12 plus months, because he took over in like December of 23. So we did all the workups, all that stuff together. We came there together, that type of stuff. So obviously, you know, you being the CMC and that being your CO, you're going to feel some type of way. But being out and about, though, like, the mess didn't see anything different. We kept, you know, the standard, keep the same drumbeat, things of that nature. And then when Captain Hill came on board, she was like, look, I know how some of y'all feel, but this is our CO now. Pretty much go forth and conquer type thing. Okay. We did that. So whole deployment, like every Wednesday, we would do training. I said that already. We made sure ELD kept going. So we kept ELD going. So a lot of stuff people say we deployed, we can't do that. Like, it's all a lie.
ELD, what's that?
So it's a leadership class that the junior sailors got to take. Well, everybody got to take now. The chiefs got to take it.
It's the leadership development.
Okay, leadership development. Okay.
It's kind of like replace, like, you remember how you used to have to do petty ups and down?
Yeah, right.
So something like that.
Okay.
Or, so it's like a leadership thing you got to do. Some of them is 3 days, some is 4 days.
Okay.
Some 5 days. So I mean,
depending on the pay grade.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Like, if you don't do it, you're not getting promoted.
You don't get promoted.
You're not getting selected.
It's like a mini SEA.
For E5. E6.
Well, if you going up for E6, I mean, if you are a first class petty officer going up for chief and you don't got that done, your package ain't even. If you a chief going up for senior chief, no. If you're a senior chief going for master chief, you know.
Yeah.
It's like when you didn't have your SEA, you wasn't getting looked at as a senior chief and master chief and all that.
So now they finally putting it into play, because, you know, they've been saying it for a long time.
Right.
You know, but now they finally
put this in.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but she was held people accountable, talk about the standards, things of that nature. Some people didn't take to her because she was direct. She's not going to sugarcoat anything.
Right.
And a lot of us did, who don't mind people being direct, because everybody else say, hey, I want you to tell the truth.
Yeah, and they don't
want the truth, though.
They don't want it.
Like, they don't. They want the vanilla version
of
it.
Tell it how it is, but don't tell her how it is.
Straightforward. Like, she African. Like, she can tell you from Chad, Africa.
Right.
Like don't play. Right. She can tell you she's staying on business. She can tell you all the things, and wherever you at is wherever you're gonna get the business.
Do you think she would be
like
everybody. A good, like, a fit for the seat, like MCPON? Like, do you think so?
I think so. I'm glad you cleaned that up too when you say up and coming, because she'd have called me and be like, who's this person? Who's this person saying I'm up and coming?
I'm Tyese Pressley.
Yeah, I'm gonna tear it down.
Know.
By the time she see this,
I'm easy that you can find me anywhere. You know, I know disrespect. I mean, I hear about it, and I hear great things.
Yeah, absolutely.
She got a strong personality.
Yeah, never met her, but I hear great things about it, and it's like,
people don't take the people with strong personality. Like, they be like, they're intimidated. And I, like, when people tell me I'm intimidating, same with her, it's like, that's a you problem.
Right.
Like, that's a you problem. It's nothing I'm doing.
Right.
You know, that's intimidating to you. You just assume that because you haven't, you know.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I shouldn't bother you.
That's a you problem. Like, you got to get over that. Because I'm me and I'm not going to shift anything.
And this is an invitation too. This is an invitation. She can come on.
You can come on too. Yeah.
So she
yeah,
just checked into her new command. She's up there in Rhode Island. So she's like the CMC teacher thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to her yesterday, but if she comes down, I'll definitely tell her to come.
Yeah. Please do. Because like I said, her name rings bells, and it's like we get excited, you know, to hear like, oh wow, you know, this person in the pipeline that can make that transition, you know, because right now it's like do we have somebody in that position to say, you know what, I'm gonna go to the CMC route, or command senior chief or command, you know, master chief route, but I never seen nobody in position like the other services had in position that looked like me.
Yeah.
You know, so do I apply for it?
She got on me yesterday about my PQS.
Yeah, you know, but you got it for your own reason. You know, you do it for your own reason.
She ain't trying to hear it.
She ain't trying to hear it. But that's good mentorship though. That's good because they know we got to flood that pay grade, you know, that rank, you know, with that so we can achieve that goal. Because if you don't have the people in, you know, that
never happen. It can never happen.
And that's never going to happen. You know, so that's good. Like, you know, she's you know, held strong, you know, as from what I hear, that's what she's going to do and be great at what she does. You just recently sat the selection board. What's new that people need to know, you know, or should they be paying attention to because anything changed that you can speak about?
The biggest thing that people don't do is they don't read the precepts in the convening order and they do not follow their ECP. And some people's ECP has been the same since 2023 or 2024.
Yeah.
And so the answer's there, and then they end up wanting to submit things that don't matter. Like even when even if I'm not going to selection board and people want me to look at things and I ask them why they submit stuff. So people will submit that they did remember you have to do the little books, the military requirements for chief petty officer and stuff like that. Like I get that you did that, but where does it say you need to do that? Like the answer is there, but people don't do it. And then people got to realize too that quotas is a thing. But ELD, a big one. Like people, you got to do ELD, and you still got to do your PMKEE. So PMKEE is like a little course thing, and they got to get 80. So they got to make sure they get 80 in all modules. Because one of my knuckleheads did not realize that, and it was too late. But so they got to make sure the ELD is good to go prior to the deadline. They got to make sure their PMKEE is good prior to the deadline, and all that's in the nav admin. And then they, again, convenient order, precepts, ECP, and they need to write the evals to it. Too, because just like doing your job is not going to cut it. Because we all here to do our job.
Because they giving back quotas now. That's what I'm hearing, and I don't understand.
I be advocating for it.
Really?
If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Because the answer is there.
It's there. It's there.
The answer is there. And again, for some of our
like
rates,
aviation rates, they giving back quotas.
Yeah, especially AOCS and AOCM.
Absolutely.
The past 3 or 4 years, they gave back master chief quotas.
You giving back master chief quotas
and
the aviation? Because the first time I seen that done is with the SEALs and the SWIT guys. That was like they weren't even flinching off of that. Like, oh, we didn't have enough that met the criteria.
But people are not doing it. Are they waiting? They're waiting to the tail end to want to do that milestone stuff. Like it's late now. Like you about to hatch.
You giving back master chief quotas
and senior chief. Some senior chiefs went back this time. AOCS and AOCM. And my thing is, I would have felt some type of way, like what? But then again, they probably not meeting the wickets because if you're not at minimum fully,
you can't be best of fully.
It's
hard to be best of fully.
You're not even at fully.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't be best of fully
because fully is really what's going to get you selected. But that means they're not fully.
You telling me as a senior chief, I'm not fully qualified?
Come on, man.
They got to look inward.
Inward.
At that point.
As a senior chief, I'm not fully qualified.
Hey, you heard it.
I don't know. Like what? So when I made it, and it's just because I had good mentors, good training. But when I made it, and anybody can tell you, because Barry told y'all, like I signed Master Chief in his charge book before I was a Master Chief. But I told. Like Elaine Nelson gave me this necklace before I made Master Chief. She gave me the year before when I was season lead. But I told Alex, like when the results was coming out, she's like, "You nervous?" I was like, "No." I said, "All I need is 2 quotas." And I said, "I'm saying 2 because I don't want to sound cocky." and then the results came out.
That's respect.
But I know I did what my career path asked of me, plus more.
Plus more.
Yeah. And sometimes I didn't want to do it, but somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
Because I tell people all the time, I do not want to lead. Like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. But nobody else wants to.
That's a common mistake. You know, a lot of leaders, you know.
I will not say that I don't want to be a leader. It's just the fact that I wouldn't mind somebody else being in charge.
Yeah, and see, that's the common mistake.
Because it has to get done.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people, you know, they sit back and be like, man, I wish somebody else would just lead. You know, like I will follow, but I'm
give me a leader. I will follow.
That's the thing.
I try to get
I'm not finna follow everybody
every day. She's like,
I'm not finna follow everybody.
Hold on.
But you know, hey, one with some.
Nah.
I will follow you if
not.
That's respect.
Listen, y'all two.
I will be okay with
And
somebody
I'm only
saying, "Hey,
saying
we
this
got to
because
do
I know
this."
me and you've been working together for like a year now, and I observe everything. I know you. Y'all will have a hard time. Both of y'all will have a hard time if somebody else was in charge and you knew. I know I can do that job.
And if they say pick
Both
up the
of
sack
y'all.
and follow me, and they're doing
Both
it,
of y'all.
and they're doing
I hear
it
what y'all
flawlessly,
saying.
I'm
I
good.
hear what y'all saying.
They gotta be doing
both
it good
of y'all,
though.
Yeah.
They gotta be doing it good.
Y'all don't settle for like.
I'm saying you have to be good at it.
Right.
Y'all
If
two
you're
don't
good at
settle
it,
for
I'm good.
minimums. Like y'all
Right.
got a problem with that.
I think that's what we're saying though.
That
We're
is
saying
what
they
we're
gotta be
saying.
good.
But y'all don't settle for minimums though. But that's not right. Some people going to give you minimum. But you hold them to an expectation that you want them to be like y'all.
I want them to be.
You don't gotta be exactly like me. There's different ways to do everything. There's different ways to do everything. I'm not saying you gotta be like me, but hey, at the end of the day, there's certain wickets you gotta hit. You know, for me to humble myself, because again, to allow myself to follow somebody, that's me humbling myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem humbling myself at all.
I'm not saying you won't do that, but y'all two are just alike. Y'all give people a hard time because they don't meet the standard.
That's what you call being a chief.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? See how you defended that? But it's the truth though. You give people a
That's
hard
a definition.
time. I got it. But you give people a hard time.
But the standard is the bare minimum though.
That's the truth. That's a fact.
That's like average.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Especially doing the work that we do.
Yeah.
You expect them to like, well, I'm giving you the blueprint, so why isn't I have more people like, you know, why are y'all not giving me a hard time of making a decision on who's supposed to be where? If I'm giving you the blueprint.
Yeah.
If I'm giving you the blueprint, I'm telling you what to do.
I mean, at the end of the day, I give people a hard time basically because I know the influence they have. I know that they are affecting people's lives.
Right.
You know, it ain't just you. It's the people behind you. It's the people that's rooting you on, who needing you to be successful. Yeah. You know, it's the families. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you leaving it to.
Yeah. So nah, like
no,
I need
I
you
respected
I don't want to be on Facebook and be like, well, back in my day.
Yeah.
Like, what did the Navy go to?
What did the Navy go to?
As soon as I retired, the Navy went to shit. You know?
Nah.
It's people that think that though.
Yeah.
Like, no, we thriving.
Yeah.
And we still
and I love it.
Yeah.
And see, and I
but
used
like
to
I
tell
said, nothing
people,
wrong with y'all holding the standard because y'all know what the standard looks like.
Listen, and even then, you know, I have a daughter that's 6 years in, and I used to tell people, you know, like, I need y'all to be successful because I don't know which one of y'all going to end up as her leader, you know?
Yeah.
So I got to make sure I do my part to leave this organization better than what I found it because I know who's in it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I had to tell the chief, his daughter had just gotten to boot camp. I said, what if your daughter had a chief like you? You know what he said? I would tell her to be patient.
What?
Be patient with him.
Okay. I don't know no other. That's just like telling the
I
doctor.
signed his checkout sheet and was like, carry on smartly. Yeah, but I said, what if your daughter have a chief like you?
Because
he's not a good,
we
not
all
a chief.
know that.
He knows who he is.
Yeah, we all know that there's some chiefs that like, we can work together, but I know you ain't chiefing. You know, I know you ain't chiefing. And it's a mindset.
And they can't get a never mind.
It's a mindset. You know, and I'm talking math chief level.
Yeah.
You know,
and,
so it's
and they shouldn't
because again, it's throwing me
be
off
a recipient
at this point.
of
I
when
did
they
not
retire.
say it again.
I ain't saying that.
I did not know that we would be giving back quotas in the aviation field.
Yeah.
You couldn't have sold me on that. I just wouldn't even seen it. But if you got a criteria,
my year
and you don't meet the basics.
4. My year it was 10. They give back 4.
Yeah,
it's probably more than that.
The year
you made it, it was more than that.
I believe it. And then they went, and then the quota was 2. They selected 1.
Yeah.
And then this year the quota was 12. Shit, maybe it was 2 and they selected none, and this was 12 and they selected 1. They selected 2. It wasn't 12. I know they can't find 12. You return my quota, we got some issues. I'm going to Militant.
Yeah.
See, but we could talk about this all day, all night. You know, this has been a good conversation. You know what I'm saying? I think we kind of went over the time frame that we normally do. You know what I'm saying? You can add that to your list of first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think we ever went this long. But it's good stuff though.
Right. So how you gonna close it, man?
Hey man, I appreciate you. And it's a big thing for me to have you here along with him. You know, him and I are always together, but to have you, it's like you serve with both of us. And you got a different perspective of like leadership styles, but you still created your own leadership style for people to like emulate. Like I always tell my AO, family, like, hey, create your own tree. Yep, I have mine, but create your own, which is a branch off. It's like a family tree, and anything that we do. You've been through a lot. Your story is like, and that, through all of that, you still being a mom. People don't understand the everyday life of a mother. Now, I know I got some single fathers out there, like, who doing fatherhood, they only single fathers, but you holding that life for those months, delivering, you like, I'm still going back out to sea. I got to go get it, because one thing you don't want to do is tell nobody like, oh, they hooked me up or they did that. Yeah. That's not your conversation. Your work speaks for who you are and what you do. You got a perspective from me. I told you, I said, no, I don't want to be a mentor. Choose Jay Ramsey. Yeah. I told you that because I know how Jay is. You go at the now, hey, you going over there with AP. Just stay right there with him. He gonna make sure you good. Because I already know how you handle business. And he gonna love it as he did. So it's like, I know he got a standard. And you fall right in line with that standard. What you're doing is creating that mold for others to follow. Yep, we got a following. He got a following. You creating that following so people can say like, oh wow, I work for Matt Chief Tyese Dowdell with pick a last name, but people know you. And when you get like that, especially in our rate or any rate, when you like that person to speak about, oh, I can tell you how you going to advance. Who doesn't want to advance? Who doesn't want to do that? So we all came in. We didn't come as a match sheet. We came in E1, E2, E3, and we climbed that ladder and successful. Keep doing what you're doing. You have to be able to show the younger females you can make it. You don't give the excuse, oh, I had a baby and I can't go on deployment. Yeah, you got to have a support system. We all know that. But thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being that leader that you are. Thank you for being that master chief that out there on the deck plate. You ain't ducking and dodging no conversations.
Want all the smoke.
Yeah, you want all of it. You looking for it. You give the scenarios of what's going on the ship life.
You did see this match. Okay,
right. See, I'm telling you on the boat like a Hall of Fame. Be careful, because now they looking at, hey, match chiefs. What kind of CD did you do? All of those things are real things. That's how you talk about chief, and that's how we being judged. Yeah. Point blank. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for being my little sister. You forcing me to tell people like I'm a favorite AO, all of that stuff. But it's real. It's real that what you do without excuses. You're not perfect. You spoke on it, but you still out here doing that 100%. So yeah, that's all I got to say to you. I thank you for that. overtime.
And you know, my sentiments is the same. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing what you're doing. I know that's kind of like cliche, right? But even sitting here listening to you talk now is just like another layer of me wondering, like, how do she do that? Like, you keep up with everybody and everything. You know, like, hey, this person, they retired at this, they person is retired as that. As you tell stories of your sailors, you can tell, like, it's not just this command and I'm done. No, like, you're able to say, yeah, they're this pay grade now, they're that pay grade now. That speaks volumes. That speaks, for one, that they're still finding a way to communicate with you for obvious reasons. And two, you still care about them. You know what I'm saying? And that what makes you different. You know what I'm saying? Again, your character, your motive, your it, you know, your legacy, right? So continue building your legacy. Continue to keep moving in your purpose. Because you're just knocking it out the park.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Again, appreciate it, understand and know that, you know, junior sailors are looking up to you. You know, females in a male dominant rate is important. You know what I'm saying? Those guys on your ship now, not even those guys, but those sailors, period, they might not realize what they're witnessing right now, you know, until they get to the next.
Yeah.
So just continue to know that they're watching, continue being the standard, you know, and keep being transparent, you know, about the things that you've gone through, you know. Proud of you.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. Tyese, we looking for you. We gotta get your story too. I don't feel bad. Like, nah. That's real. They have 2 female AO match chiefs serving on the carrier. That's history.
Yeah, that's our third command together.
Yeah. Any last shout outs for you, for anybody, or?
I didn't talk about Sweets and Kier. So
Okay, no, speak on them.
Amazing Master Chiefs, man.
They trash. That's a dump on kids back in the day. I had to run through Sweets on the football field.
Kier used to let me run them up.
That's all.
And Sweets was just crazy. But Kier used to let me run them up, so I appreciate them definitely.
Yeah.
They're definitely them too.
Kier, big Mississippi, man. ABCM, Kier Walls, and Sweets, AFCM. Yep. Yeah, he got mental issues. But that's my dog. Hey, Eddie's podcast. We out.
Peace.